Hello YouTube viewers. Today I thought I'd make a video of my 1962 Chevrolet Impala. That's the original color on it, white with blue insert. And I've had this car probably since around 1983. It's a one family owned car. My uncle had it before I did. And he bought it brand new in 1962. He was an insurance salesman and he had to have reliable transportation. Selling insurance, he was on the road all the time. He sold for Life of Georgia Insurance. He would drive to Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, just Mississippi, wherever, selling insurance. And in 1962, I was 5 years old and I was at my grandmother's house in Alabama. They lived on a farm. He come down the road in this car and I quit playing with my cars in the sand. My grandparents lived on Sand Mountain. I quit playing cars in the sand and jumped up and looked at that car, and I thought it was the prettiest car I'd ever seen in my life. And he pulled in the driveway, and it was my Uncle Arnold. And I told him, I said, "Uncle Arnold," I said, "that's the prettiest car I've ever seen." Of course, I'm 5 years old now. And I said, "Would you please save this car for me when you get tired of it or get a new one, whatever?" And he just kept writing with his clipboard on the steering wheel, insurance stuff, I guess, and said, "Yeah, okay." I didn't know it, but my grandmother was standing behind me when I said that. And she'd kind of come out of the house and I guess see who pulled up in the driveway. And she heard me say that and she knew I loved cars and trucks. So when my uncle got tired of it or was going to trade it in, she remembered me saying that and she bought the car from him. And they kept it for years, my grandmother and grandfather. My grandfather didn't drive. He didn't have a driver's license, so my grandmother done all the driving. And my grandparents were not rich with wealth, I mean money-wise, by any stretch. They didn't have indoor plumbing, anything like that. So for her to buy this car, and I didn't know she was saving it for me, but she did. She saved this car for me. For her to get this car for me was really outstanding, and I can't believe how blessed I am. But anyway, she saved it for me and they drove it for years after that. It's got, I don't know how many miles on it, a bunch of miles. And my uncle, he got him a new one. My grandparents kept this one and they used it for a car, truck, whatever had to be done. This was the only vehicle that they had. Well, around 1983, give or take, she called me and wanted to know if I still wanted this car. She'd had a 73 Impala, power steering, brakes, and air and all that, four-door car. And this one had been sitting in her garage for a long time. And I'd finally had an opportunity to get it. So I said, yes. I said, "I've always loved this car." And I kept trying to get her to say on the phone how much she wanted for it, and she never would say. So I gathered up all my gear one weekend because I knew it'd been in the garage for a while and I was going to try to make sure everything was up to par for the trip back home. So I got there and got everything, checked the air, the transmission fluid, everything in order to get going. And that lady, my grandmother and grandfather, only charged me $1 for this car, and it's been in my family since new. So I was just about in tears. But anyway, I guess I did. Anyway, so I've got the car and I've had the motor rebuilt since then, probably about 85. Had the motor rebuilt. It's still got the original 283 with the power glide in it. It needs detailed really bad. And I've got, the interior was trashed in it. I'm telling you, trash, because everybody getting in and out of it. And I wound up buying white seat covers. I traded around for them for a 62. And I haven't drilled any holes or done anything much other than to put this FM converter in it. The radio still works. It's not real loud, but it still works. Got the FM converter, and I changed the steering wheel to put a 59 Chevy Impala steering wheel because that's my favorite top steering wheel, and it kind of matches fairly well. Haven't had the insides painted or anything. But this is it. And I went with the blue package tray. I kept the dash blue, new blue carpet. And I had a really good friend of mine, and he was in his 70s. He told me that this would be the last headliner he put in. He said he was getting too old. He was in his 70s, and he done an excellent job. And I'm kind of selective on who I get to do anything on this car. So I was really happy. I'll show you the trunk that I done myself, and I'm not bragging, but I'm kind of proud of it. I painted the trunk, splatter, patter, what I think that's what you call it, and got all that done. I done that myself, but now on engine compartments, I'm not too good. I'm kind of like Clint Eastwood. A man's got to know his limitations, and that's one of my limitations. But I have put aftermarket wheels on it. I put dual exhaust on it, and I put a 4-barrel carb on it, and I put these bumper guards on it. And I'm just a big fan of bumper guards and things like that. And I did put a door mirror on this side, on the passenger side, but it is the correct 62 Chevy door mirror. And I think I mentioned I lower it. Now I've got the grill guard. I'm real proud of that. I'll back up and let you see it a little bit better. And got the hood pull there from a 61. The 62s were kind of plain, but the 61s had the Chevy bow tie in it, so I went with that. I just try to dress it up a little. Most people don't know anyway. I've got the 327 emblems on it, so I'd say some of y'all's probably noticed that. 283 is just supposed to have the V with the red, white, and blue. 327 had the cross flags along with this. And then if you had a 409, it would say 409 at the bottom. So, but I just like the 327 emblems better than the 283, even though I still have them. I just like those better. I thought it kind of dressed it up a little bit. It's everybody's preference, I guess. Don't pay no attention to the primered spots. I was just playing around. The car's been painted, 32 years, 33. Anyway, there's no rust in the car. I've had one patch on the floorboard on the passenger side fixed because I guess my grandmother didn't realize that it had a leaky heater core, and it made a hole in the floorboard, and I've had it patched. But as far as I know, this is all that's been done to the car. It's all original panels, and I don't drive it very much. I don't know why, but it seems like I don't have time to do a whole lot anymore. I'm going to try to lift this hood, but it might take both hands, so hang on with me for just a minute. I'll show you the engine. Okay, sorry about that. Had to have two hands on that one. But it's 283, there's nothing fancy about it. And I still need to fix the heater core. But I put power brakes on it too, by the way. It had power steering, still has the original type power steering on it. With all, well, I don't know if you can see it all down in there or not. But it's got cylinders. Anyway, I never have been able to put much money into this car because I knew I never did want to sell it. So I've had a lot of old cars and old trucks that I've had to sell because you know how life is sometimes. You got to do what you got to do. And sometimes I had to do it. So I've had a lot of old cars and old trucks that I regret selling, wish I still had them. But you know, that's life. And I'm just proud to say that I own some of them. And I'm real happy and blessed to have had this car and still have it to this day. So if you have a child or a grandson or a granddaughter, son, daughter, whatever, and they come up to you and say, hey, mom or dad or both, you know, I really wish that you would save me a certain vehicle, a car or truck, you know, try to listen to them if you can. If you can, hang on to it for them because, you know, that's how I acquired this one. And I'm just so blessed and tickled to have it. And I don't pay it as much attention as I should, but it's always my first love is this 62 Impala, this one right here. And I thank you all for watching. Please tell me if you have any advice or comments, you like it or you don't like it. I have some more cars and trucks that I would love to take videos of, but you know, I need to know if you like them or not, the videos I mean, and I don't know how to edit. I don't know how to back up. I don't know how to do anything as far as making a video, so this is it. If I've messed up, that's just the way it is. I hope y'all have a good day. Let me know one way or the other. And thanks for looking at this video. Appreciate it. See you later.